Do you think that independent films are becoming more competitive? Absolutely. I read a statistic once that in the early 90s, Sundance received approximately 400 submissions, Sundance Film Festival, and now I believe they receive upwards of 10,000. So, because it's so much less expensive to make films nowadays with digital cameras and digital editing systems, that's a great thing because it makes the process much more democratic. It opens it up to people who simply weren't able to participate before. But with that comes a lot more product. So because there's a lot more product, I would have to say it's a lot more competitive. How long of a feature will this film approximately be? That's a good question. The script is currently 105 pages, and usually in the film world you say a page equals 1 minute. So at this point we would approximate that the film will last 105 minutes. Good evening from New Orleans, Jeffrey. What is your distribution plan for Peril? That's a good question. What is a distribution plan? Well, we don't have distribution in place. Nearly every independent film at this point, I would say, is made without distribution in place. That's the biggest thing that distinguishes independent film from studio films. A studio film, for most of you are probably familiar with that term, but a studio film is a film that originates with one of the 6 major studios, and the major studios all have production and distribution capabilities built in, whereas independents are usually built with companies, are put together by companies that have enough money to make the movie but not enough money set aside to distribute it. So they go make it and then seek out distribution. And on a certain level, we'll be doing the same thing with Peril. We did it with Last Lullaby. We'll take the film to the festival circuit. Kind of the ultimate goal with an independent film is you premiere at one of the biggest festivals in the world, whether it be Sundance, Toronto, Berlin. You premiere it to a packed audience, filled with distributors, filled with critics, filled with people who are loving your movie, and you leave the festival with a great deal for your film that's covered your investors and maybe then some. That's the ultimate goal. I have one thing that I'm really interested in doing with Peril that I did somewhat with Lullaby, but I think we can do an even better job here, is really identifying who is the niche market for this film. Who are the people that are most likely to like this film because of the content, because of the actors, and try and involve that group as early as we can and really get that group to buy into the film, to take ownership of the film. And so, we're already starting at this very early stage, identifying what those markets are, starting to try and form alliances with them, and starting to spread the word in these communities that are have a vested interest almost in the film we're making. To kind of go into all the distribution plans, I think would cause too long-winded of a response, but I hope that gave you a few kernels. As a continuation of the Just Do It motto, what advice do you have? That's my dog. Sorry, that's my dog Nola. As a continuation of the Just Do It motto, what advice do you have for other local filmmakers attempting to raise funds for feature film projects? That's a good question. It depends. It depends on what level you're trying to raise money. There are now a couple of websites that have become very popular in the last year. One is Kickstarter, Kickstarter, and the other is Fundable, Fundable. And basically, people have had great success with both of these sites trying to raise, let's say, $100,000 or less for a movie. Basically, you create an account with Fundable or you create an account with Kickstarter. I've never used them myself, so if I say something incorrectly, please excuse me. But you set up an account with Fundable or Kickstarter, and then people can give you any increment of money, and it just slowly builds. And people aren't. It's not an investment, I don't think, as much as it's just friends, family, anyone who's interested in what you're doing slowly helps you build the necessary funds to make your movie. So if that's if you're trying to make a movie, let's say for under $50,000, I think that's a great thing to investigate. If you're trying to raise substantial funds, let's say over $100,000, I would advise people to put together a business plan. Something that shows, this isn't a hobby. You're in it for the business, and you've thought about it from a business perspective, and you're selling it as an investment, and you actually believe there's a chance that what you're doing is going to make money, and you've thought about why there's a chance it's going to make money. So I guess those are the best pieces of advice I can give. I'll take a couple more questions. Let's see. Thanks a lot for your time, and best of luck to you. A lot of money down in Mansfield also, and the people are really accommodating. I do a lot of work down there. Okay, thank you. I'll definitely look into that. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate the opportunity to talk to you through this medium. Keep us posted. Thank you. Okay, it seems like we don't have any other questions. I'll take one more question if anyone has one. I know it's getting late. Thank you all again for tuning in. Please spread the word. If you could, maybe go back to Facebook after the chat ended and say, I just did a Ustream chat with director Jeffrey Goodman for the upcoming independent film Peril, and it was awesome. There'll be another chat in a couple weeks. Hope you'll join the group for Peril. Or you guys are all more articulate than I am, so you can come up with something. Thanks so much for all the info. Would it cost for you to co-produce my feature Substance in Shreveport? I can't right now. I can't even. I can't take on anything else. But let's see where things are down the road. I've got my hands full just trying to get this thing off the ground. Last question: what are you looking for in actors? Usually, I guess. Every director's different. I first start with a kind of physical image of each role, and I look for actors that sort of align with that physical impression I have, and then it's kind of, do I feel like they have talent? Do I feel like we connect? Do I feel like we're on the same page? It's interesting. Nowadays, one thing that I didn't necessarily do with Lullaby that's going to be very important on Peril is I want to know that the actors who are in the film are actually going to get out there and do PR for the film, that they're going to promote the film on Facebook, they're going to promote the film on Twitter, they're going to get everyone in their world interested in the film that they're in, because when you make a film like this, it's not just a director's film, it's not just a producer's film. Everyone benefits, and and it's a strong word, but I actually expect the actors on the next film to take that kind of ownership and get out there and push the film, maybe not at the same level I am, but to push it all the same. And if I speak with someone, I really like them for the role, but I get a sense that they're not going to push the film, and they think all their job is to do is act in the film, then I'm gonna look elsewhere. I'm gonna wrap it up on that. Thank you all again for tuning in tonight. Our next goal for the Peril group is to hit 2,000 members, so please keep spreading the word. And thank you so much for tuning in. Everyone have a great night.